While we hope that you will give us an opportunity, and I hope I know the young people here, to answer the 8 years question. So you had asked that we have potential in 8 years to be a developed first world country. That's what you said. And then you also asked that why are we not there yet? So I was just curious to see what the thoughts of the people in the room might be so that we can start to document our solution. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. That has to be a seminar topic, right? So, yeah. But please, a brilliant question. And honestly, if you guys have time, I think you should explore that. Because if we start now, it's really at least a 20 or 30 minute session. But madam, thank you. That's brilliant. That's really the braver man, or what I was trying to talk about. Thank you. Yes, sir. The guy in the black suit, yeah.
Thank you very much for this opportunity to speak, sir. Please, what is your view of cost of governance? What's your view of cost of governance? Should public office holders, politicians earn more than the normal civil servants? Should cost of party tickets be as expensive as the market? So what's your view? Cost of governance.
I can give you the short answer or the long answer. The short answer is that I think for our economy and the economy will run, and for the poverty level of our people, the cost of governance is way too high. But I'll start with the structure of governance itself. I think the structure of governance for us, I don't think it's fully appropriate. If I were in the Constitution Review Committee, my constitutional proposal for Nigeria would be different. And we start from there. The way you have an upper legislative house, a lower legislative house, 36 state governors, 36 that, 36 that, it's difficult not to have expensive governance. And for a country it's not that we're a poor country, we're not a poor country. We just have not released our wealth. So we're illiquid. We're not poor. We're rich in human assets. We're rich in natural resources. The cost by which we run is way too high. That's the simple answer. We're not getting value for money in our costing. When Lee Kuan Yew became the Prime Minister of Singapore, he shrunk government. So those who provided governmental services, but public servants, same wage level or higher than private sector operators. Because he said, for those who dispense public favor and public work and public wealth, there must be no room for temptation. And what he then did was that he then went to the supply side, which was the rule of law. And anybody that was caught in corruption was dealt with severely. I think the jail sentence there was 25 years, and they applied it. No sacred cows. There are a lot of reviews that we need to do in Nigeria and reforms. But it will come when you guys stand up and take your rightful place. One more. Last question.
Thank you, sir. Would you respect Excellency? We appreciate your talk.
Mr. Igor.
Okay, sir. Yes, we were listening to your comments. There was a very big English here said Nigeria is not poor. The problem we have in Nigeria, we are poor. We are always satisfied with our situation. Except the real Nigerians have never traveled out of this country. We are rich, but the rich is from the people that belong to the society. Let me explain one thing to you, sir, with due respect. I've stayed in Kumasi. Ghana is one of the most poorest African countries. Ghana celebrates 24 hours energy till today. And I've stayed in Johannesburg, South Africa, Cape Town. East London, Port Elizabeth. I've stayed in that country for 12 years. They have never been one energy down regarding them. When there is no light, if there is no light, and the infrastructure coming to the country where there is no facility, why would the government focus on to fix energy first? When there is energy, there will be more opportunity for the people working on regarding the Egor Youth Summit we came for. Let there be energy. We don't need money from the government. We don't need anything. Education will come when there is infrastructure. You say somebody to go to school. We have many poverty graduates from today. Their father took them to one of the most expensive universities. Today, go and check there. They end up become fraudsters. The police is after them. Let the government return 3 things. If Nigerians are rich, if Nigerians are rich with their wealth, let the government return 3 things to the people. One, let them pay the military their grants, pay civilians their grants, pay police their grants. Nigeria will balance and fix energy. Energy go through education. We don't go now. Our children don't go to good education anymore because there is no good road. But I said it before. I said it again. If Nigeria is happy with this situation, that is where we all will remain good. Because we don't have infrastructure. The infrastructure we have is domestic infrastructure. Let this is if we can focus on these things. You trust me, Nigeria will not celebrate 5 years or 4 years. Nigeria will be no better than more Europe countries. Because Europe have nothing. What we have, we sit on it.
I have one answer for you.
Sir, okay.
Leadership that loves its people. Let me give you guys, since we started producing oil in Nigeria, there's associated gas and non-associated gas. Associated gas is gas that comes up whenever you drill oil. You know what we've been doing with that gas? We've been flaring the gas. How does a country that doesn't have power waste gas? How? Gas is the cheapest form of producing electricity. So how does a country that doesn't have power flare gas? And then you say you have leaders that love the people. How? So my answer to all that you said is that where you have leadership that loves the people and thinks for the people, all of these problems we have will go away, and in less than 8 years we will develop. It's as simple as that. We've been flaring gas since 1956. So, how it's great wonder that many more of us don't die of all kinds of diseases. And I don't want to imagine what's happening in Niger Delta. Seriously. How do you flare gas for 70 years and you still don't have power? Somebody was talking about the refinery. In 2007, the president privatized refineries. His successor came into office and reversed the privatization. Now, let me tell you what Nigeria would have saved from that privatization. Since 2007, all the refineries haven't worked, but they've had full complement of staff who go in, who get promoted, who get salary, and every 3 or 4 years, if you turn around maintenance, the refineries don't work. If you aggregate all that money, we would have had more than 3 power plants to power the whole of Nigeria fully. Mobile. So it's a priority issue. You prioritize properly because you want to succeed well. You want to succeed well because you love your people and you want your people to benefit. So guys, let's go back to the first principle. Love your people. Love your neighbor. Then when you're thinking to make them happy. If you want to make your people happy, you will not flare gas where you don't have power. Forget even the environmental degradation. So put it in your minds, guys, as the leaders of today, I'm not talking about tomorrow, I'm not talking about shall, build it into your hearts to love your people. When you love your people, you do less bad things. You do many more good things. When you love your people, you strive for your country. That's the only way. All of us here, we have God-given talents. We're all brilliant, we're all hardworking, we're all good when we want to be good. The same guy that does Yahoo is the next Bill Gates. So the person should just make up their minds. The very same guy that does Yahoo is the next Bill Gates. So make up your mind. Which one helps the world? Which one helps your people? Which one makes life easy for the rest of the world? Yahoo or Bill Gates? Take care, guys.
The future is now. Egor Youth Summit. You have a skill, start developing it now. If you have a God-given talent, start working on your God-given talent now. Don't wait for the future. If you are waiting for government, you will be failing yourselves. I believe in Egor Youth. I believe in Egor Youth. I believe that we can have a sustainable society where we have creative, productive, young individuals that are contributing meaningful. You see the power of this world. You see all the rest of this nature like
Dedicated the digital world and their time. Going to step up and then we also need to accommodate them and stuff in different space. That's what we're going to. Thank you so much. So guys, for the youth summit, we will continue to support the people to ensure that they get the right information about what is going on in Edo. And we want to appreciate the organizer from Egor, especially the Honorable Commissioner for the marvelous job that he's doing. And we are happy. Ogbede Ifaloyi is doing a great job. So Dr. Ashon just left the scene now. So let's just go around and see what's going on here. We want to say thank you guys. Please share this video, very very important, so that our people will also follow. So for us to have a healthy society, we must have a thinking leader. If you have a thinking leader, then you are sure of having a viable and a growing economy and a better society. So let us think out of the box. Let's see how we can partner with the state government to put in our best. So guys, let's go back and see.
Activity to inspire, motivate audiences to reach their full potential. Chat, GPT, look at me right now. Bro, thank you, you have made my day. So the day I decided I was going to be a master of ceremony, officially, 11th of November 2007, Sunday. I went to the convention, I was the
Small boy, why interview small boy?
So, bring your camera. So, my people, we're there with the Honorable Commissioner, one of the youngest commissioners where they make things they happen, Honorable Ogbede Ifaloyi. So now he organized this Egor Youth Summit, very, very important.
So we don't know what will be the summit, whether that son name come meet join each other. We are not know. So honorable, talk to our people.
My brother, I want to thank you first of all. As you work out come, I know see your schedule day very tight. But as you hear say we dey organize this summit, you come see wetin we dey do, come help us use your digital camera take cover am. I want first thank you. You see, we believe say na the youth get energy,
Yes.
na the youth get power, na the youth dey control how things dey go all over the world. Now we can't say, but we can't be like say for Africa, the youth never really they occupy their space where they're supposed to be. Or you both say they are not living to their full potential. So we can't say, what can we do? How can we re-engineer? How can we retool? How can we rework the minds of young people? Then we discover, say, we first of all engage their mind.
Okay.
Talk to them to engage their mind, because before a man can engage his hands, he must first engage his mind.
Before the stomach.
Yes, it starts from the mind. The greatness of a man starts from the greatness of his thoughts. So we can't say, okay, maybe we gather our people together. Maybe we begin to talk to ourselves. Maybe we begin to prepare ourselves for leadership.
Okay.
Because we don't see them across the world, young people are taking their pride of place in societies. It's our turn in Africa, our turn in Nigeria, and it's starting from Egor local government.
And somebody talk say, he say, why you not do this summit for Egor? You call Kana come already. Say what they do you? Whether or not get hall for Egor.
Okay, the answer to that question I say, when we start to the team this program, and we call an Egor Youth Summit, people can say, it get many people where they from Egor, where they want to stay for Egor.
Oh, from Egor, but
Yes.
they want to stay Egor.
Yes. So
Okay.
some of them they stay for Oredo, some they
Okay.
stay for Ekobaka, but they are all from Egor.
Okay.
Now we say, okay, where will we use? Where go they
The center
central?
point.
Where people
Okay.
will easily come from. And if you check them, people where they will not be from Egor, but they come.
Now the plenty
Because
pass.
they see good thing. So we make sure say the place near Ring Road. So wherever you're coming from, even if Oselo, Akpakaba, Ugbowo, Ring Road is the central place. Then we say, okay, we will choose this place. And to add to that, not to say the ACO they use here, not as the chief,
The should not be here.
it
sir.
was free of charge.
Oh, not free?
Free of charge.
Okay, no verse. Now
Because
see the reason.
governor don't build this kind of facility. They will take the engage to take advantage of it. So if those were there on one youth summit in Benin, they can do it.
Okay.
If they want done for one also, because people were there for one, they see the Benin.
There are plenty for here.
Yeah, so the location doesn't really matter, but what's the idea behind it? What is the takeaway from it? What is the knowledge that has been transferred as a result of this summit? Then they're more important. So I understand. Maybe as time goes on, we go to organize it for many, for different parts of the state.
Good.
So those who do go around the Sulu area, say, those who do Oredo, Gobaka, but as we dey go, so this is the first one.
Now the first time it is.
But every local government across the state will go there.
Okay.
Not because I'm from Egor, but because Egor is the fastest growing local government, let me start from here.
Wait.
Nah,
What?
so-
No. How you saying I got
That will not touch you. That will not touch
You
you.
don't touch me. Why don't?
No man tell you why.
Tell me why. Why you?
If you see now,
Ah.
most of the road construction in Edo State, most of them are in Egor.
Yeah, na Egor.
No. I say in Egor, not
In
between here.
Egor.
In Egor.
How many
local
roads
government.
I don't control for Egor?
Governor Basaki, if you check now, apart from the GRA where nobody don't do before in the last 30 years,
Okay.
the second place where Governor Basaki don't focus on, na Egor local government. Let me tell you why.
Tell me why.
Because small businesses are thriving a lot in Egor. So far, we don't get almost 300,000 MSMEs around the local government.
We go protest so.
No, not true. If you see small shops, barbing salon, hairdressing salon, tailor, along from Ward 1 to Ward 10, that's from Ewotubu down to Ugbowo, Ugboyoko, every day small businesses they open. That's to show you, say, we are becoming more productive, we are becoming more self-sustaining, and because we don't get the government where they encourage productivity, encourage creativity. You get one time where they do one training for this becoming creative.
Yes.
Now I come here, I say, now I see what thing that happen. Now I ask the coordinator, say, hold on, how many of you here are from Egor? almost 60%
60%.
of the girls and boys were from Egor.
From Egor.
Then I didn't stop there. I go Edo Innovate, right? See,
Yes.
they get one training on AI. Now I can't hold on. I can't tell the coordinator. Say, hold on, sir. I want to ask one question. I said, please, if you are from Egor, stand up here. Over 40%
From Egor.
from Egor. Now I can realize, say, something big is happening in Egor.
In Egor. Okay.
Now the move from Egor starts, move the spreader.
Small, small.
Anything that works in Egor will work anywhere.
Anything we work for Egor, you go work for that place.
Yes, sir.
So finally, Honorable Commissioner, I know say you not be big man for me to even stand with
No,
you. So
I beg you,
for me to stand, so
Washi.
let me say. So my people, when I wait they watch this video, whether not for Lagos, Abuja, when I also they follow for YouTube. I want wanna join me ask Honorable one question. Election do they come? Waiting you want make we the and she be you too. What you want make we the youth do?
The number one thing what we need to do is we don't they complain since the complaint don't reach.
Okay.
Let us start organizing.
Okay.
We have been agonizing. Let us now start organizing. What I mean by that is say, we they gather ourselves.
Okay.
We they talk to ourselves. Let the young people in Edo pull in one direction.
One direction.
Maybe say all of us to hold one rope. They
Go
pull
drag
one
am.
rope. So that when those where they the top, say all the youths they pull one rope. Anything where we talk, they must listen.
Okay.
But let's not be divided. This is not the time. It's not matter of party, whether I be this one, it's party nomenclature is irrelevant. Let us pull in one direction. May we look all the candidates. So say, of all these men where they here, so who I go fit hand over my company to?
We go run am.
My papa just die.
I know.
So every one day all of us go die. So for the men, who will be say after maybe you don't the old of these people who want contest, so who you feel hand over your family estate to say may you help you to pretend over him? Who's the person that you can trust, that you have confidence in? Not be party issue, not be saying where you from come or the religion. No. Who can we entrust our lives and our children's future into in those states? Now we go choose.
Now we go choose.
So people feel get their own other biases who they get. But at the end of the day, let's come to the dinner table. Sit down as young people. How do we plot the curve of our future? Who do we have confidence that can transform our life from where we did so to where we need to go to? That's what it is. So we must organize. You see this kind of summit?
Yes, sir.
We go to do many.
We done the
Even
go.
if so you not come here, do for your streets. Gather the boss within your street.
So you want to begin to do this because of election?
No, not the election.
Why you not start and since?
No, let me tell you.
Tell us.
This summit, it don't tell where we start at.
Okay.
But we never get to this high level like
We're
this.
not going to do
Now
small,
straight by
small.
straight.
Okay.
Not to say we pack the hall.
Sure.
Now only on Tuesday, now we tell them say okay, we want to do big one. That's because we don't dey do small one since. For units, for ward, for Idun. We dey hold this meeting since. Now we say okay, maybe all of us gather. So as we dey gather for Egor, they don't dey gather for Edo.
They don't gather
They
for
dey
Edo.
gather for Isako.
Okay.
We go tell our politicians, say this time around,
Now
the
we.
youth, now they want decider.
Okay.
Now the youth want decider. So they must pay the youth attention in 2024.
You do well.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, I know you get so many guests for inside.
Yes.
I would like maybe you use your good office. Bring them come. Make we interview them.
Baba no shake.
Make them tell us. So go bring them come.
I go bring them.
I bring them come.
Thank you.
So my people, you know say me, I dey talk am as it dey be. So the honorable commissioner, he don't talk to us. So belle dey sweet me wella. So abeg, time without reach, make all of us join hands together to make Edo great. Power belongs to the youth. Oh, then they tell us say the youth are the leader of tomorrow. The youth should start participating in governance now, so that they become the leaders of tomorrow. You understand? So we they talk am as it dey be. Remember, say we not be an enemy of progress. So my own na to promote what they good. We still get one person that they call her Ekman. He dey waka they come from back. I go hold am now. Make it tell us what in they do for this place. So not be Ekman be that. So we go start with Ekman.
You are a great man.
So cameraman, bring camera come. Thank you very much. Bring camera come. So now you know they come beside me.
Yes,
So I hear say call the program. Oga Ekman, good morning, good afternoon. So I hear say you dey call this program. I don't know your name. So you go introduce yourself. Tell our people who you be and what you dey do for this place.
Okay, good afternoon. My name is Epen Odenigbe. I'm the executive secretary of the local government.
Okay.
I'm my brother.
They don't dey hear, they see you dey talk small, small. Make you talk come out.
Money too much.
Talk.
I've been a brother on a Peking,
Mm.
Epen Odenigbe, the secretary of the local government. And we are here at the Egor Youth Summit. We want to talk to our young people. We'll try achieve a shift in our mind and our thinking patterns to help us be more productive and contribute better.
But they say the English way they speak too big. Let's make you break am.
We don't hear English too much.
Break am down, I beg.
Come from village. We say we will come to talk to our young people like us on how they fit think more innovatively, more creatively, how they fit do things better to ensure say our people feel the impact of young people for society. Joseph became prime minister at 30. Yakubu Gowon became president before he was 32. We have young people that have made a lot of difference. Our age, not the separate us from infants. Even as young as we are, there's so much you can do. And if we are able to work together as young people to contribute our bit, Nigeria has 65% people below 50. So we are a lot of young people that can make a lot of difference. So we call them together. As we talk like this, we exchange ideas,
Okay.
we learn from each other, we grow along that path.
Thank you very much, my secretary to Egor local government. Okay, I'll send my Zakon. More go inside. May put small thing. Now life, oh, no one must hear what you talk. Yes, sir. Oh, you don't know. Arriba.
So, ladies and gentlemen, what we have a problem is now. What's our problem? It's a mindset problem. There's nothing wrong with us. We are so blessed. But guess what? We don't think right. We just don't bother to think. I went into an institution, I'm not going to call the name, very beautifully done, and I will go into the restroom. I'm very passionate about the little things. I know character from the little things. I'm not bothered with fanciful stuff. If you want to know good people, check the little things. Everybody can talk a good game. How do they live their life? That's where the data is. And I couldn't believe the restroom in this place. I was in shock. They didn't flush it. Built everything by the government, but they just couldn't be bothered to flush it. They needed somebody else to come and do it. Or maybe our governor to leave what he's doing and help them turn the angle. I got very upset. And I had to take it on with the head of the organization. Left for me, I was ready to display for all of them. But I said, let me just respect the person. But what was the reason why you didn't just stop it? And I'm going to use that to illustrate the nature of our problem. So I grew up. I'm going to tell different stories, and I'm going to leave you with those stories to make of it what you will. When I was in the university, there was something called once raining. You know, things rain in Nigeria. What's raining are Milky Donuts. Have you bought your? Yeah, you know, it's always raining. So once was raining, and this girl came to meet me and said, I was on my way to the library. I like to read. I don't even apologize for it. I'm so hungry to know things that I don't even have time for gossip. I like to read. And I was on my way to the library and she came out. She's an adult babe like me. And she said, Moa, why? I said, you're going to class. You're hustling like an ugly girl. That's what she said to me. And the reason they read, you know, just kind of thing. You're ugly, but they don't they toast you. And I said, they toast me. What happened? He said, why am I struggling? That even if she makes a third class, when she graduates, she'll marry one of these men in she was dating somebody in another company amongst the other people that were funding her. And then she said she'll be all right. So I should just have an education. I don't need to hustle. But I read anyway, graduated with a 4.0. I wanted a first class. But you know, our Nigerian lecturers, I shout out to all of them. I really love them. Some will just hold some marks just to humble you. This is why that I hold the super, just to humble you. 4.0 is okay. So they gave me that and we were all happy. We went to England to get the first class that we were looking for. And we graduated. And indeed, she did graduate with a third class. But fast forward today, on my way here, this same lady is in my DM asking for that urgent 2K. What do you think happened? The world evolved. Oil companies not raining anymore. And you know, the nature of the run business is that younger people will come. It's very competitive. Imagine if I was competing on that by now. You can't survive with 20-year-old BBL, everything is out there. How am I going to compete? I can't. So somehow this girl is in her 40s, that hasn't quite worked out, and there is no result to be able to use to do anything. What skill do you have that you can immediately monetize? Young people, what skill do you have? Joyce Daniel talked about being the queen of talk. I'm fascinated by her. I'm fascinated by people who turn water into wine because that's how I think. The minute when I was in school, I used to be so upset when people would say, "Oh, they're a believer," then they would look at you somehow. I did my uni in the East. They say, "I believe God, the person is loose, she's this, she's that." And I used to come home and tell my mom, and do you know what my mom told me? My mom said, "Mama, you will go to Italy, but guess what? You will sit with their prime minister and you will be discussing how to do their nation." That's what my mother told me. In her best pidgin English. She said, "That's what you are going to do. So leave all those people, me and me, just focus. They will be using you as an example, and I can tell you it's happening now." Has anybody done the government soft skills training here? I happen to create a course from my kitchen that has reached 1.5 million young people in this country. From here, I sat down and I did that, and Edo girl did that. That's the point I'm making. Did that without any connection. And now let me shock you. I always like to tell the story of how I came into government. Do you know why? We are a very disbelieving people in this country. We have something called learned helplessness. We've been taught to be helpless. I was giving somebody an example of how I was pregnant with my son in the home where I used to live in Lagos. And NEPA people, PHCM came to court. They were going to disconnect our power. 12 people living in a place, they were disconnecting us. I was very confused because I had paid off today. But guess what? There were 6 men standing with the PHCN man, and nobody was stopping them from going up to go and disconnect. Of course, coupled with pregnancy. So you can imagine me on a normal day, I'm not pregnant. Imagine I'm pregnant, everything will happen to me. So I was very upset. And I asked the man, "Why are you climbing there? What do you want to call? Come down." And he said, "No, he has disconnection notice. Only for us to check if it was not our address, it was the house after our house." Did you get that? It was the house after my house. But 6 tenants that had paid their rent did not ask him, "What are you doing there?" Nigeria happens to us. We've been so heartbroken and beaten down by our politicians that innovative thinking is lacking. We are so afraid to even ask for what we deserve. And then what is even worse is when we now see somebody who is doing the right thing, we want to pull them down. You cannot do it. You see somebody who is trying to do it, and then you want to bring them down. So now I want to talk to my people. Do you know who my people are? The outliers, the people that don't send though, because I don't send normally. Now they okay, good. Because normally I know they send though. I know I did this, she did this, she did that. Even I like to give people content. Do you understand? As I'm living my life, people have content. So because what would they talk about, man? They'll just be bored. So they're like, "Ah, she has started again, she has started again, good." But guess what? Is that started again that got me to reaching 1.5 million people? Is that started again that will get me to reaching the billions? Because I want to reach 1 billion African in my lifetime. That's my own vision. I want to play in that billion game. So my thing is, what are you playing? What you're doing? What's your strategy? Joyce said something very profound. I also like to talk and I like to teach. So, like her son, I was that child somewhere who will gather all the neighborhood children and we'll be doing revision together. And I have been teaching ever since I was 4 years old. If you went to any of my primary school, Libya, Federal Benin, everybody knows me for the same thing. You know, I have been a teacher consistently till tomorrow. What is in your own hand that you can monetize young people? We spend so much time on social media. Sometimes I'm on social media and my heart bleeds. Arguing about people that are okay, politicians who don't chop their left. How is that your problem? Young people, why is that your problem? for change, making enemies over nothing. What are you getting? But their children are not there. And guess what? When the thing work out for them, now their family first too. Forget you. So what is in your hand that you can monetize? And do you know how you can start to demand for what you deserve? Is when we wake up from this sleep. Because I come into this country all the time and it's like somebody just blows something and all of us are sleeping. That is how it feels like. By deep slumber, it doesn't make sense. People are on a boat, no life jacket. What were you thinking? What were you thinking? Eh? And you see, people are still after the obvious. Nigerians say it's the Bami water that was angry. Why does it not chop Oyibo people? They came here, caught our forefathers, and they were doing what they were doing, and somehow the gods left them. Why? The same God, no, they catch rich people. Why? They are above the gods. We need to change how we think. If you get anything out of what it is that we're doing, I did a presentation, somehow I can present it. It can be sent to you, you can look at it. But you want to be what? A leader. You also want to have what? A skill that you can monetize. Let me kill one thinking for you. I have a lot of you. How many people are looking for a job here? Let's start from there. You are looking for a job. Don't be shy, put up your hand. I think I've scared some of you. Reverend hand. Reverend not looking for a job. Okay, some of us are looking for a job. Let me tell you another way to think about looking for a job. That's another way. The person who makes my hair, under this hair, I have locks, right? And I've had locks for a while. I just started braiding it recently. There was a time when I first came to Benin, I couldn't find somebody locally to make my hair. Do you know what I did? I paid for the guy that makes my hair in Lagos to come and make my hair. Because looking good means a lot to me. And I could afford it. So I told him, you know what, come and make my hair. This last Christmas I went to Lagos. The guy that makes my hair said to me that, madam, I beg you, get what I will show you. I told him he won't show me. Say, I beg if you go get chance, you follow me, make you free. I got the guy, man has built house to you. I pray though, because me, I don't, you know, some people, when they are under them and you make it, that's another level of witchcraft in this country. I've walked somewhere where the person saw my car and said, if you're driving this kind of car, what are you doing? I resigned the next day. Because I said that man would kill my destiny. So I went there and I was amazed. He had built a nice 3-bedroom bungalow for himself and his family. Guy can barely speak English. But there are still people looking for a job. Because he will make my hair, he will make for other people, he will make for other people, and he will get something. Some of us cook so well. Some of us are the best cooks that anybody has seen. Some of us can bake. Especially our men. Now, let me also talk, because when you go online, you find that with the skills, women are doing all sorts of things these days. But sometimes I'm wondering, where are the men? You still find, I still have mentees who are waiting for oil company to call them so that they will eat it big. When you have a skill that you can monetize, when, like Mr. Hasway said, you can actually go to YouTube University and learn how to do something. Do you know? I like scented candles. And I found out I was spending so much buying scented candles. Guess what I did? I did what I felt like my grandmother would have done because she does not like wasting. I went to go and learn it. How to make scented candles. I bought the materials, it was cheaper, and I make it now. So the former containers I had, I just kept them. So, one day my son was saying, Mommy, but we need to look for how to buy new containers. I'm like, I'm working on it. But at least does it sense? Yes. Is it costing me less? Yes. So there are opportunities. And my thing is to say that there are opportunities. And please, I want to talk to pioneers, finally. I want to talk to people that don't care. I never do what is working for everybody. When I was coming to Benin, all my friends said, if you leave Lagos, oh my God, your life is going to be hard. Oh my God, you're going to come and live in Benin? And I see, I'm from here. What's happening? My parents live here. And all that, oh my God, has stopped. Nobody's, oh my God, in. What is happening now is that they are flying in here to come and see what's happening. One wants to start a restaurant here. Do you understand? Leave statistics, focus on you. Coming into government, I didn't know anybody, and you can verify. Go and verify they're here. That's a pastor. Yeah. So they are here, they can help you. I genuinely didn't. I had no intentions of applying. I just came to see my parents. And somebody who works for government heard what I was doing with Jobberman and said, you know what? You're the kind of person that the governor is looking for. And he got my resume and sent it. I was in shock when they called me from government house. I said, hello, this is from the Edo State government. I said, yeah, does it work like that? And I went through an interviewing process. But this is the same country where they tell you you can never, never get a good job in government if you don't know somebody. Change your mindset so that you start operating at another realm. Change your mindset. I started working in this country remotely before COVID. I told everybody who cared to know I'm a very, very passionate mother. The day I got pregnant, I said I'm going to be present for my children's evolution. I'm not going to outsource my parenting. No. My children are doing ballet. Mom is going to be sitting down there. My children are doing, there's no job, and I'll still be making money. People don't it's not possible. But guess what? Pregnant with my daughter, I went to an interview with a German company in Lagos, fully pregnant. In fact, by the time I got into the interview place, everybody got up and thought maybe this woman, I was 9 months in, pregnant, swollen, tired. What are you doing here? But they couldn't ask me, they have to be politically right? So you can't ask a pregnant woman, what are you doing here? But they can fire you for something else that you didn't do well. And that's how I attended that interview, and that's how I'm going to close. I went there, I looked at their business. They were trying to penetrate the Nigerian market. I've been doing consulting, market penetration strategies for 5 years. So I researched their business model and I came up with a 6-month plan for them. A 6-month scalable plan, and I put in the numbers. If you do this is how much is going to come. And then I also told them, in the 6 months, I'm going to be earning 200K. But the minute we hit where I want us to go, I want ₦1 million in salary. But pay me 200K because I believe in my strategy. For now, that's fine. What they wanted to pay was 500, so I took a pay cut of 300,000. Don't pay me 500K, pay me 200K. But when I do what I said I would do, follow it, lead the team, I was going to be leading a team, then you will pay me this. They were looking at themselves. Nobody had come into the interview like that. Everybody just wants to say, tell me about yourself. Is that not it? What are your motivation? Ask questions. Templates. What is generic? Scatter the table. Do something different. Do you understand? Be different. Stop being generic. Generic is dangerous because everybody is doing the same thing. It will be hard for them to choose you. Disrupt. Stand out. I said it to them. And then I wasn't done there. They now said, what about my baby? I said, oh, that. How far along are you? I said, yes. It looks exactly the way it is. I'm not just starting. It's actually 9 months. How are we going to do? You have to come to the office. I said, no. I can lead a team from anywhere. And this was at least 10 years before 2020. And I told them I will show up in the office on Mondays, have my physical meeting, but the rest I will do it virtually. I have fiber in my house. I'm going to invest in internet. I told them everything. They were not arguing amongst themselves. My interview ended up being like 5 hours. They told me to go and sit outside. They argued. I sat down there with my nanny, waiting. And that's a good time to pray. Because you've now done something and then you cannot ask that it be supported. Not that you don't do anything, just sit down, morning to night. And then you are praying. So I went down and I prayed and I said, Lord, it's you that have said that seek ye first the kingdom of God, and my kingdom of God is my children. So because you have given them to me, I'm going to. Later they called me. The HR person was there again with the CEO, and the CEO said, I don't care. I like her. Yes, and it's the boss. I like her. And she said, no, he's going to disrupt. He wasn't listening. You know what, Precious? If you get me this money in 6 months, I'll double ₦1 million. I don't care. I did it in 4 months, without 6 months. Because what happens is, when you have an opportunity, please be mental about it. Because I find many young people, especially in Edo, no job. I have so many mentees. You will refer them to something, the time they will not be there. They won't tell you why they are not there. The job will be mediocre, and you are still praying that there is a spiritual problem. It's not, it's you. It's you, it's your life jacket. Where is it? Wear it. So I'm going to leave you with this, dear pioneers. There's nothing wrong, though. I like how Joy said that she doesn't believe government, blah, 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 blah. Neither do I. In fact, When people tell me this is the way everybody is going, I like to go this way. I just enjoy it for the fun of it. I wanted to buy a car seat for my son. And the person selling it came to me, wanted to sell an expensive one to me and said, look, oh, madam, all the high class women in Lagos, these are the one where they buy. I didn't buy. You know why? I don't want to raise a generic son that looks like all the other people's children. Hell no, no. I want to raise my son who is an outlier like his mama. So I put him in the least used car seat. And I think that the reason the boy is stopping himself is because he was in that list. He's not like everybody else. So please feel free to do what? Disrupt. If they tell you that they don't do it in Edo, it has never been done before. Get excited and do it. Because guess what? Maybe like in Muahe, you get to be what? The pioneer director general of something. Thank you.
Put your hands together for our mama, precious Imuwahe Ajuonu, the Director General, John Odige Oyegun Public Service Academy. That was powerful. You have heard the future is now. Start doing something. Deviate from the conventional and be an creative Edo mind. Ladies and gentlemen, we also have a very productive young individual in the building. He happens to be the secretary to the Egor Local Government Council. This is one individual who is very creative in thinking and believes in the future which begins from now for the youth. Put your hands together for Mr. Ekme Isoke Odemigie. You're welcome, sir. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's good to be here. It's good to have everyone here. My honorable commissioner, thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's been amazing listening to all the other presenters. I need to put your hands together for them again. Thank you so much. Yeah, so we have a very interesting topic before us. We are going to be discussing building leadership skills, confidence, and opportunities for young persons. I'd like us to start with what we understand by leadership. Who is a leader and what is leadership? Okay, so the funny thing, to answer the first question, who is a leader, I can tell you categorically that everybody is a leader. Each and every one of you sitting in this hall was born a leader. But the thing is, you can decide to become a leader, or you can decide to remain mediocre. I pray that before we leave this summit, we would come to make a decision from deep within ourselves to emerge from that cocoon we have been. And it starts by changing the way we think and the way we perceive things. I was telling somebody recently, I was like, there's hardly anything called reality. Virtually everything is perception. It is the way you think it is. You think life is hard, life is hard. You think life is rosy, life is rosy. I'm going to ask you a funny question because I'm sure that you do not see yourself as a leader yet because of the physical circumstances that surround you. Funny thing. I'll give you an example of a car. A car has about 40,000 pounds. 40,000. Which part of the car is most important? Which part? The engine, really? Okay, what can you do with the engine or the battery? What can you do with the engine of the car without the battery? Because first, the battery is the one that sends the power and the signal. Beautiful. So as important as the battery seems, I'm going to ask you a follow-up question. How effective, how important is the battery without the terminal wire. So that wire is like 600 naira. Short, basically useless. It has no power of its own. But when your terminal head isn't functioning properly, what happens to your it really start, right? Good. I run a company, right? I used to run a company before I joined government. And in my company, we have different divisions, right? So there's a legal side, we have a law side, and although I was MDCU, my younger brother is a lawyer, right? And when it comes to legal things, he practices in England, but when it comes to legal things, I let him take the lead. Are we together? I have a young IT boy in my company. His name is Komen. Komen is like 28 years old. As grounded as I am with tech, when it comes to IT, I let Komen take the lead. Are we together? So we're all born leaders, but most times our leadership becomes in specific areas, right? But depends on the context in which you are looking at leadership. Are we talking about leading people? Are we talking about excelling in giving skill set? Because funny enough, when you think about, I'll give an example, nightlife in Nigeria. When you think about nightlife in Nigeria, if you're a very social person, there is virtually three names that will come to your mind. Uyo Bobo, Ubik, and Kibana Chief Priest. So I had the opportunity to have a conversation with me when I was in Abuja. He owns Hustle and Bustle, he owns Moscow on the ground. He used to run the first Kibana. He's a Benin boy. Benin boy grew up in Wasota, extremely successful. He's into real estate now. And when he says, first, he's the kind of guy that he doesn't sleep. Doesn't sleep. And he likes the finest of fine things. He channeled this gift that he had into an area where it will have maximum impact. You that likes to sleep, it is almost impossible for you to run nightlife activity. But it comes to him by default. Are we together? It's funny that people are not able to picture themselves as a better version of themselves. Oga said something just now when Mr. Aswad was speaking. He said, picture yourself as governor. It was a bit tricky. I'm sure it took a lot of us a lot of time to switch into that mode. Because first, your mind tells you this is almost this is hard. How do I become governor? How in what scenario am I governor? Are we together? It hasn't happened ridiculous numbers of times in the Bible. Who angel will appear to you? You know this is the angel of God. And the angel is telling you something. And you will still doubt it. Because culture, environment, and society has done so much to us. Are we together? Culture has taken so much of us that we have even stopped believing in ourselves. You need to understand that when God created each and every one of you seated in this hall, He bestowed upon you gifts. In the book of Luke, sorry I'm having to refer to the scripture, but if we are able to refer to John Maxwell's books, I think we should be able to refer to the scripture as well, right? In the book of Luke, when Jesus shared the parable of the talents, so to one he gave 5, to one he gave 2, to one he gave 1. 3 servants, right? So for me, I went back into my shell to try and think, why was the master biased? Why was it not 555, 222, or 333? All I needed a closure was to refer to a few a few lines below the talent sharing. And it said that everyone was given something according to their ability. Everyone given according to their ability. But the point is, everybody was given something. This we are talking about might not appear to you in the way you tend to want it to be. So, your something could be you're a very good cook. Do you know it takes a level of intelligence to come water, bitter leaf, maggi, lemon, and it will be sweet? Those of us here that don't know how to cook, you know that those people are trying. Let's put our hands together for those of us that can cook. Do you know that it also takes a level of intelligence to carry 6 yards of cloth, cut it, and make something beautiful out of it? Not everybody can do it. But how well have you curated this gift? Because see what happens with gift. Even the scripture says, common sense says, your gift will make room for you. It always does. That's all that makes room for you. Forget connection, forget every other thing that you think. Those things play a very good role. But when connection gets you there, it is going to be your gift, your character, and wisdom that sustains you there. Are we together? Everyone seated in this room has diverse gifts, but we haven't been able to properly harness this gift. Most times, when I ask people, like, so what do you do? Like, nothing for now, everywhere just guy be. What would you like to do? I don't know, now your money your day now, That's what everybody first rushes to. Now, having done business development for over 15 years, I'll tell you for free that most businesses, their problem is not money. Are we together? Their problem is actually money. Let me give you an example of a tailor I know. Great guy, sews very well. He sold me for some time. And through me, he met a lot of people. But I can tell you for free that that boy, you don't get any week when you know they arrest him. As good as he is at sewing, but they arrest him at least once every week. Why? You will give him your marriage clothes in December and tell him that your marriage is in April. 4 months is with your cloth. My wedding is on April 27th. He will start cutting your cloth on April 25th. So one day, I gave him some clothes just to send to the UK. So I was chasing this guy around, calling him, he's not picking his phone is off. So one day I decided to drive to his shop. His shop is at Second. So I drive there, I get there, I park outside. 8:30, guy is not at work. And because my school as well is at Second, I know that NEPA takes light by 10. So by 8:30 and there he's not there. I try to wait till about 9 at the office. Then I check back again. Sound. I check back again a few minutes to 10. And guess what? That is when this young man is coming down from a taxi, the vehicle he entered. And he gets there. First thing, he enters the Naira bet shop and starts to discuss the weekend match. Talk that the day inside there for like 15 minutes, argue, do things, came outside. Before he opened the shop and swept, electricity was gone. NEPA took light. And guess what? They bring the light by 6 p.m. And guess what? Oga closes by 5. Is that person ready for life? So he's got the gifting, blessings, but he lacks the skill to himself and his gift. Normally, with the way he sews, he should not even have a problem with money. I introduced to like 3 members of the House of Assembly, and those guys they pay block for block. I introduced to a lot of politically exposed people. But he couldn't sustain the connection, he couldn't sustain the referrals. Are we together? So sometimes the problem isn't what we think it is. It doesn't look like think it is. The problem is actually different. The problem is actually most times self. I have seen people who got free introduction. Ah, my pikin dey Canada, they find wife to come marry my pikin. And now free, they just package you inside. You go still use your hand spoil am. It's amazing. So really, when somebody at the back said something, he was like, people went to school and they're still unemployed. Thing is, employment isn't what a lot of us think it is. I worked with the University of Benin for 12 years before I started my private company. And the fantastic thing about that was the essence of work to gain experience. Experience wasn't working for the university necessarily for sustenance. I needed to understand how work works. After I did 10 years, I started gradually phasing out to stand on my own. So I registered my company after my year. I started deploying some of the skills I had learned as a staff of the university gradually. So I started doing basic consulting. A lot of us get opportunities to work, but we'll consider the pay and we'll give ourselves all sorts of excuses. Let me tell you a very, very funny story before I enter of confidence. That will bring us to confidence. In 2017, I set up the University of Benin Microfinance Bank. Today we have over 11,000 customers and our capitalization is stepping into the billions. The bank is started from 25 million naira. Of this arrangement, the only reason I could start that bank was because I took up an appointment many years ago. How many of us know Precious Palm Royal? Right? Good. Precious Palm Royal owns a microfinance bank. It is called Prosperity Microfinance Bank. Their office is at Siloko Road. So when Juno Saige, MD Precious Palm Royal, was trying to set up his microfinance bank, we had a conversation. He brought me and this was in 2007. I just finished service, got back. My salary was 12,000.